CPI numbers came out this morning, and while they did drop, they didn't drop as low as predicted. The previous inflation rate was 6.5% and was forecasted to drop down to 6.2%, but instead only dropped to 6.4%. This could mean that the Fed will raise interest rates again next month. If that happens after these somewhat disappointing results, that would mark 4 consecutive months that the Fed has raised interest rates. All right, everybody, let's start off in the market heat map like we normally do. The market heat map, of course, is a collection of all of our assets that we have listed in the Edge Finder, and we can see how they are all trending so far today. We can see the little percentage right here, meaning the percentage either up or down in the market so far today, and it's getting updated every 15 minutes so that you have a really accurate representation of how all of these different things are trending. And so right up top here, I can see our biggest movers of the day, and I notice that we have the NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, and the US 30. So US indices are performing very well today, in fact performing better than any of the other assets that we have listed in here right now. But after the US 30, we have GBP, NZD, Euro NZD, and the JP225. So it looks like indices as a whole might be having a pretty good day, followed by these two NZD pairs right here. If we move down to the bottom, we see NZD USD, Aussie USD, NZD CAD, NZD CHF, NZD JPY, and Aussie CHF. So it looks like the New Zealand dollar is very, very volatile today. Lots of movement going on with it. Let's go into the watch list and check out our buy and sell biases. So if I take away these neutrals as well as indices, we don't have any commodities listed at the moment. We are left with 4 buys on the day so far. We have USD ZAR, our strong buy, score of +6, and we have a whole list of sells, including 5 strong sells. We've had a lot of sells in the Edge Finder recently, including a lot of strong sells as well. Yesterday we had 6 strong sells. Today we've dropped down to 5. But the question then becomes, which pair should we take a look at? And I'm leaning towards CHF JPY, and I'll tell you why, is because we took a look at a sell yesterday, so I would like to take a look at a buy. We took a look at a US dollar pair yesterday as well. We actually took a look at GBP USD. That was the pair we were taking a look at.
Listen up, traders. We're rolling out our free technical analysis playbook featuring 5 theoretical plays to incorporate in your trading. Read up on head and shoulder patterns, retests on a support level, fib-based setups, breakouts, and flag patterns. Click the link down in the description below to get access to the playbook for free.
We took a look at a sell yesterday. We took a look at a dollar pair yesterday. So CHF JPY makes sense because it's a buy and it doesn't feature the US dollar. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at CHF JPY that has a pretty solid buy score, a score of +5. COT data comes out to a 0 or a neutral score, and retail sentiment is a score of +1. We can see right over here that currently institutional traders are 35.93% long, 64.07% short on the Japanese yen, and 21.63% long, 78.37% short on the Swiss franc. So institutional traders actually both favored short on the yen and the Swiss franc, 64% and 78% here. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, retail traders are 90% short on the pair as a whole overall, just 10% long here. Our seasonality is a score of -1. We can see here that in the month of February, we currently are well below that 0 or that neutral line right there, basically meaning that over the last 10 years, when you take a look at the average price point at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, historically speaking, over those last 10 years, this pair typically does not seem to trend very well in the month of February, typically performs somewhat bearishly, but that does not seem to be the case in this month. Our trend reading is a score of +2, and look at how far that shot up from yesterday to today. I mean, that's a really strong upward move, and we've had a little bit of retesting right here. It seems like it kind of came up to this point, dropped back down, came back up, but then broke clear through those highs right there, and just had a really nice move to the upside from yesterday. And price forecast predicts that it will continue to make some more highs. Let's finish up with our fundamentals. We have GDP growth with a neutral score, and then inflation, unemployment, and interest rates with scores of +1. So we can see right here that both in Japan and in Switzerland, GDP growth is at 0.2%. Japan's inflation 4% compared to Swiss 3.3% inflation. Japan's unemployment 2.5% compared to 2.2% here. And then lastly, Japanese interest rates negative 0.1% compared to 1% for the Swiss franc. All right, so that was a breakdown of CHF JPY, which has a pretty nice buy score of a +5.
We've got 1 minute here, guys. I'm going to leave this on the screen for now, USD JPY, but we will be flipping to other charts to see what the news brings. Now, remember, my orange line here on USD JPY is my stop loss. If the price comes down and breaks through support here, then that is where we will look to get out of the trade for a profit. So for those of you who are inside of the Discord, I've got that stop trailed. And again, we've got just about 30 seconds here. So let's just do this real quick. We're trailed in profit inside of the signals group. So just waiting to see if this one wants to continue running higher or if we're going to stop out for a profit here today. So good scenario either direction. And we've got about 15 seconds, 10 seconds here before the news. Let's see what CPI numbers come out to be here today. So we're seeing a little bit of rejection here prior to the news. We've got 4 seconds before an initial move to the downside. Will that last? Let's see. And again, we'll see if my oh, wow, what a crazy, there it is going up now, $1,900 of profit all of a sudden. And we're, wow, what just happened? Guys, let me know as you have the numbers. If you do have them, type them in the chat. We just jumped to the upside there, hit that resistance point and seeing some initial reaction. Comment the numbers as soon as you have them. 6.4% year over year. And that is higher than expected, guys, causing a bit of a stir on the dollar. So USD JPY jumping and the dollar jumping briefly. SPX 500 possibly coming down a little bit. Yeah, there it is. And remember, this is the trade setup that I'm looking for there. Euro USD, not giving us any push to the high side, so probably not going to be able to get into that trade anytime soon. Pound USD, something down pretty hard on the actual release. 500 pulling back, NAS 100 also pulling back here. Again, 2 scenarios that I want to get long on. So we'll see if that can continue, if we can get a bit of more of a decline. Numbers coming out at 6.4% year over year. That's a big deal here for us this morning. So yeah, I like that SPX 500 trade. Whoops, hold on. So SPX 500, we are looking for the retracement down into 38.2% retracement. My dollar yen trade, this is going to be of interest to keep an eye on. So we are currently looking at UJ on the 4-hour chart. I'm looking for a break back above the highs. If we can see this thing continue, then we'll trail stops further within the group. If you're inside of the signals group, we've got several things here that are going to be of interest today. If I take those trades, you guys will see them inside of the Discord channel. Make sure if you have not already to join that. I mentioned it earlier, but we'll drop the link real quick one more time. If you want to join the free Discord, there is a link being dropped in the chat for you to join that. Just submit that form, and then you'll be able to get access and join us there. So yeah, UJ, looks like we're surviving for now. We'll see if this lasts. We had a spike to the upside there on higher than expected inflation, and the dollar strengthening pretty hard on that one. So we'll see if it lasts. It doesn't seem like it's having much follow through for the starting point here, but those are big numbers, and we'll see. You know, my expectation would be we continue to see some sort of push off this with such a beat in terms of, or not beat, a miss in terms of inflation. Yeah, very, very interesting. And dollar yen still, like I said, it's still on that buy category with inflation numbers coming out hotter than expected. That's definitely going to be of interest to watch here today. Wow, and look at that, kind of reversing as we speak. SPX 500 probably jumping back up. Yeah, look at that, flying through the highs. And this is the weirdness of markets sometimes. You look at that, the S&P just going here this morning. Gold, what's gold doing off the reaction to this? Yeah, gold shot to the downside, now jumping as we look at that. We just got stopped out of the dollar yen trade just like that. Wow, that's crazy. So just got stopped out of UJ for a trailed out of profit. still a profitable trade. But wow, what a crazy morning with the dollar jumping like that and then plummeting through the lows despite higher than expected inflation. Very weird reaction from the market in my view. Wow, that is crazy. USD strong. Yeah, it was for a second. And then it said, never mind. Look at that. UJ, or sorry, the dollar shooting back down to the lows and now even testing a break of that 102.65 mark, looking really weak suddenly. What a crazy reaction there from the market. And let's pull up real quick. Let's pull up Forex Factory, see if we can get a full view of the market numbers. Or the numbers here real quick. So we had 6.4% higher than expected year over year inflation for CPI, core CPI coming out as expected at 0.4%, and month over month coming out as expected. So very interesting. Year over year, though, hotter than expected by just a bit here. Previous reporting at 6.5, a decline down into 6.4, but higher than the forecasted 6.2% numbers. Yeah, very, very weird. Kind of a strange reaction, I'm not going to lie. So we're seeing, like I said, the dollar jump to the downside there. SPX 500 flying through the highs there this morning. And such a strange, it nailed that this level of support here. And before it could even blink, it was back up to the highs. So crazy volatility here as we get going. Can you look at EuroCAD? We could quickly look at it. EuroCAD on the 61.8% retracement. I've talked about this one. This one might actually be a setup here for us. It's an off pair, but EuroCAD of interest here at that 61.8. I'll keep that on the watch list here. Good thing I bought Aussie last week. Aussie dollar, AUD, USD. Yeah, look at that Australian dollar coming in hot here, flying through or trying to break through this 50% level. GBP USD. Might give it, you know what? Hey, we forgot about our euro dollar trade. If that 38.2% comes back into play, I might look to get short on euro. That is definitely an interesting trade for me here. I may look to get short 1.080. That's going to be my my point of interest here. If we can get that to come into play once more.
Make sure you guys check out the links in the description if you need broker recommendations, access to our free Discord, or want to chat with us on Telegram. If you're interested in our trading software, the Edge Finder, you can find that in the description as well. Thanks for watching.